Everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you for today's webinar on health, aging and fall prevention. Aging is a beautiful journey of life, but it comes with its own challenges. One of the most common and preventable concerns among older adults is risk of falls, which can affect independence, confidence and quality of life. We are truly privileged to have with us our distinguished speaker, Dr. S. Mayooran, sir, who will be guiding us through the important topic. I also extend heartfelt welcome to the KMPIP alumni whose presence add a great value to this session. So let's begin this day with a prayer. I request everyone to please rise on their places. Now, it is my honor to invite our esteemed principal, Dr. Prakash sir, to share the opening remarks and officially commence today's session.
Hello, Dr. Mayooran? Dr. Mayooran, am I audible to you? Can we check the audio video please once?
Hello?
Yeah, Dr. Mayooran, am I audible?
Yeah, now it's better, yeah.
Okay, I could see us, no? Could you able to see us?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Am I audible enough, sir?
Absolutely, you are very, very clear. We could able to hear you and see you as well. And if you want,
Okay.
you can check with the screen share options if you want to before you are introduced. We have just done with the prayer. You could see in front of us our final year students, third year, and some of the first year also. My faculty all are here assembled in front of you. And at the outset, let me thank you so much for accepting our invitation to be with us on this day, on wonderful day, because this is a week-long celebration that we have started with regards to World Physiotherapy Day, which we all collectively celebrate across the globe. That is on 8th September. Just to brief you, we started our activity on Monday with the auspicious, like how in Sri Lanka too you must be having this sort of auspicious occasions, spiritual practices. We did Satyanarayana Katha, where the whole campus prayed for the well-being of the profession, institution, the community at large. Then we visited the senior citizen home and this old age home where we try and promoted healthy aging, prevention of fall and tips for preventing frailty. And we had a rural outreach program, which is a camp in a village where we tried and address the needs of the local community. And today we are having you with us as an international faculty to talk on healthy aging and fall prevention. And I'm aware that your area of expertise is into biomechanical aspects. So I think this will be a wonderful opportunity for all of us, that includes me too, and my residents and students, to learn from your talk about healthy aging and fall prevention. And tomorrow we are having our alumni talk also. Two of our prominent alumni will be coming over here to deliver talk on neuro-related related to healthy aging. And Monday, the D-Day, mainly the culmination of World Physiotherapy Day, final 1 week long program. We are having a continuous physiotherapy education where a neurologist, physiotherapist, dietitian and a medical physician will be talking about, it's an interprofessional approach how to promote healthy aging and prevent, with a special focus on preventing falls. So that's just an introduction about the activity. Before I open up the floor to you to talk to our students and faculty, let me just give a small introduction about our institution. We are a trust-run hospital and institution in the name of Charundar Arogya Mandal, which was started 52 years before by the then Finance Minister, the Home Minister, Mr. H.M. Patel. So this is located in Karamsad, which is the Karma Bhumi of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who is called as the man who united the whole India. This is his place. So in this place, it's a very small town which is located between Vadodara and Ahmedabad. If you know the Indian map, you could able to feel yourself where you are now connecting with us through online. And now it is becoming a big town. It's a township surrounded by lots of colleges. We call it as Vallabh Vidyanagar. Initially, we were affiliated to Sardar Patel University, and our Physiotherapy Institute, which is with the Mandal, is now 25 years old. We have celebrated our silver jubilee in last year, 2024. And this year we are towards our golden jubilee. We are entering into the next phase of our journey as achieving the milestones. And we have a medical college, nursing college, allied health sciences. It's a 1150 bedded NABH accredited hospital. And we are the first physiotherapy standalone institute in the country to get NAC accreditation, which you must be aware, which is an UGC body where we look into the quality education. And many of our students are, the alumni are well placed. Many are into abroad countries like US, Canada and other places. And we are running postgraduate program in various specialities. And we are more towards community outreach. Our vision is more towards community outreach. We try and do all the activities where we try and involve the local community at large. So that's just a small introduction to you because you are connecting with us for the first time through online mode. And I'm so glad that one meeting that we had in one of the conferences, I never thought I'd be able to have you here. And it was nice of you that the moment I connected with you, you immediately accepted our invitation. We hope sometime in future we will have you here physically too. And I don't know the time zone difference. What is the time there, Dr. Mayooran, now? You are closer to our...
It's same.
Same. Good. So I'm not disturbing you at the wrong hour. So that's about all of us. Thank you so much for joining. I'll be inviting our Professor Dr. Nirav Vaghela to give a small introduction about you to our audience, because I know you, you know me, but my audience, my students will be knowing about you. It's a small introduction about you. Then we will leave the floor for your presentation. And if there is any discussion happening at the end of the talk, we can take it up, or we'll be closing with a vote of time. The tentative time to close is around 3:30 or 3:45. I leave it to your choice. It's your time, your perspective. You can go ahead with that. Now I have Dr. Nirav to introduce yourself to the audience. Thank you all of you, and I hope all the students and residents and the faculty will have a great time with the speaker. He has taken out his time, though from a different country, but we wanted to listen to him because he has expertise in biomechanics. So listen to the talk, and if you have any question, please you can raise your hand, you can discuss with the expert. If not now, you can always give us the questions to me. I can forward it to Dr. Mayooran, and I hope he'll be happy to answer your queries on a later part also through WhatsApp. Right? So hope you're all ready?
Yes, sir.
Sure, post lunch, so but I want you to be alert. I know, because it is not an easy task to sit over here, the cozy atmosphere, air-conditioned auditorium, but it's an important topic, and we have guest Dr. Mayooran, Athithi Devo Bhava. We believe in that, so you have to give your fullest attention to his talk. I welcome you all for this, and over to Nirav.
Good afternoon, sir. He is Mayooran. He is a senior lecturer physiotherapy in Faculty of Allied Health Science, University of the Peradeniya, Sri Lanka. His study also there. His main specialty is sports physiotherapy. So he did his education in the Sri Lanka only, same university. He did his education also, and he is having so many fellowship programs in orthopedic rehabilitation. Yeah. he did diploma in sports science and he also did the certificate course in the sports physiotherapy. So his specialty is more on the sports side. So he is having the specialty on the sports side. That's why he is taking the topic is a biomechanical expert also. And he is a senior lecturer. Also he is a team of the rugby football team in the Sri Lanka. Also he is a community liaison officer in the Handicap International Sri Lanka. So he is doing along with the physiotherapy side. Also he is doing the community side also so much of work. He is participated of so much of invited for the guest speaker in the Sri Lanka, Thailand, Malaysia, Japan, etc. So he is just invited for the guest speaker and he is having so many publication in the sports side also. So welcome sir for the webinar for the healthy aging and the fall prevention in biomechanical aspects sir. Thank you sir. Over to you sir.
Thank you, sir, and thank you very much for the nice introduction. And good afternoon, everyone. Hope I am audible enough.
Raise your hands to show that you're all there. Yes.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank for the invitation, especially Professor Nihal Prakash for inviting me. As he mentioned, we met in one conference and we had a good chat there, and I'm happy to be here to deliver a talk in your university. Thank you very much for the invitation, and as I said, I hope I'll have a time to visit there physically as well. So, without further ado, I think I will start my presentation. So, I'll share the presentation. I hope you'll be able to see that.
Yeah, it's visible, Mayooran.
Can you see the presentation, sir?
Yeah, we could able to see. If you can, if it is possible, you can make it full screen mode. It is visible definitely.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, absolutely all right. Now we can able to see the full screen. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, so today my talk will be about healthy aging and fall prevention in a biomechanical perspective. So let me introduce myself. I'm Mayooran, senior lecturer from University of Peradeniya, Sri Lanka. Some of you might have heard about the university. I'll give a brief introduction about the university towards the end of the session. So, okay. I think this is the right time to talk about healthy aging, and it's a timely organized one because this is the month called as Healthy Aging Month, September, and this year theme for this Healthy Aging Month is never too late to reinvent yourself. So thank you very much once again for organizing this timely event, and I'm happy to be a part of this to deliver a talk on this topic this right time. So today in my talk I'll be talking about healthy aging and the biomechanics of aging, and for all these factors specifically focusing the biomechanical aspects and the biomechanical assessments and fall prevention strategies. I'm not sure whether the students can they interrupt me in any time, or after the session we can have the discussion, or in between is it possible to interact with them?
Yeah, in fact, I leave it to your choice, Dr. Mayooran. If you want, you can stop in between, or else we can do it at the end also. As the program goes, we can see how it goes. We are okay with both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Right. So, what is aging? Can I have any answers from the students, or what is aging?
Yeah. PG, just give your thoughts. Anybody wants to?
અને 6થી કોઈ ચાલુ ના થતું કારણ કે સપ્ટેમ્બરથી એક્ઝામ ક્લિનિક ચાલુ કરી છે અને જેને 15 દિવસનો ડ્યુરેશન આપવું પડે.
One student is about to answer.
એકચ્યુઅલી મારે 8 ઓક્ટોબરથી ચાલુ કરવી પડે પણ છતાં બી 2 દિવસ પ્રિફોર્મ કરી દીધી ધનતેરસને વાત 12 સુધી ના આવી.
Hello, I am Disha Motwani from final year. Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes.
As per me, I think aging is something which occurs after 60. Like it is a beautiful process of older age or in the later process of life when our metabolic, hormonal, and everything goes to a decline.
Okay, thank you. So, in generally, as you said, it refers to the process of growing older. So, it is a natural process that gradually progress, and there will be progressive decline in biological functions, and eventually it will lead to increased vulnerability for diseases and dysfunctions. So, at biological level, we can say aging is resulted from the impact of accumulation of a variety of cellular damage over the time, and that can lead to gradual decrease in physical and mental capacity, and that will increase the risk of disease. So there's a difference between age and aging. So as we all say, age is just a number. So that doesn't indicate the aging. So aging is a process where the progressive functional decline happens. So with the advancement of the medical field, when we compare the past, currently people live longer than the past. So any idea about the life expectancy, global life expectancy? What is the global life expectancy currently? And what is the age do you think a person to say that he is aged?
Give you an answer, be louder.
60.
Mic de do na. Be louder. Be quick, huh?
55 to 60 years global life expectancy.
Be louder, beta. You
Okay,
say.
fine. So globally, the life expectancy currently is about 73. I think which is similar to India as well. India is about 72 currently, as per the records I was able to see, which is an increase of 8.4 years since 1995. So the life expectancy is increasing with the development of in the medical field, and the projections, the global population projections have reported that by 2030, 1 in 6 people in the world will be aged 60 years or above, and the number of people aged 60 and older worldwide is projected to increase from 1.1 billion, currently about 1.2, and then it is projected to increase about 1.4 billion by 2030. So the world population is aging at a very fast pace, and in 2050 it is expected that 1 in 5 people globally will be over 60, and 80% of older people will be living in low and middle income countries by 2050 according to these projections. That is the major issue countries like Sri Lanka and India we are facing. On one side, it's good that the people live longer these days with the developments of the advancements in the medical field. On the other side, the question is whether are we ready to face the challenges of the changes happening with the aging. So that is the big question. So most of the countries globally are actually facing various challenges to address these old population issues. They are not ready to face the aging population to address their issues. So that's why nowadays this has become a hot topic and an important area for sorry, for researchers and also as a clinicians to study more about this and to intervene more preventive strategies for healthy aging, all these things happening as the aging world population is aging at a very fast pace, and we should be ready to face the challenges. Okay, can we stop aging? Anybody? Do you think? Some of you might have aware about even a very recent talk about two big political leaders were talking about living 150 years of age. Okay, so still there are people talking about aging and living longer and reversing aging process, but as of today the answer is no, right? So we cannot reverse or we cannot stop aging. But still what we can do is we can address the issues of aging, or we can even slow up the speed of aging by doing various measures, and we can live a quality life while aging. So that is what all about healthy aging. So we cannot stop aging, it is a natural process and it is an inevitable process and it is a irreversible process. But by doing various measures and various strategies, we can address the issues, especially we can reduce the adverse effects of aging, and we can, for a certain extent, slow up the speed of the aging process. So thereby we can live a quality life while aging. That is all about healthy aging. So healthy aging is a multifactorial aspect. So it considers various things. It's not only about living without or aging without diseases. So there are various factors need to be considered when we talk about healthy aging. So according to the WHO definition, healthy aging is a process of developing and maintaining the functional ability that enables well-being in older age. So as I said, it is not only about aging without getting any diseases, so it is about maintaining the functional ability. So that is a key thing. So it incorporates function, mobility and independence are the three main pillars of healthy aging. And also, it's a process of developing and maintaining the functional ability. So many people think when we talk about healthy aging, all these strategies, exercises or whatever, all the strategies we talk about healthy aging, we should start once we get older age, maybe after 40 or 50 plus. So that is not the case actually. So it is a process we should do from the beginning, from very early age of our life. So that will help us to achieve the healthy aging. So when we talk about functional ability, so it means the older people, they should be able to meet their basic needs, their daily needs, and learn, grow and make decisions. They should be able to do that, and they should be mobile or active enough physically, and they should be able to build and maintain relationship, and they should be able to contribute to society. So these are the functional abilities they should be able to maintain with their aging. So that is according to the WHO perspective, which defines healthy aging. So when we talk about functional ability, this can be influenced by both intrinsic and extrinsic factors. So all these functional abilities can be influenced by both intrinsic and extrinsic factors. So intrinsic factors means such as the person's physical issues, physical characteristic, the presence of disease, the level of fitness, all these things are intrinsic capacity. And the extrinsic capacity, mainly the environment, social factors, policies, and attitudes of the society, community. So all these things are extrinsic factors. So the functional ability can be influenced by both these intrinsic and extrinsic factors. So that will influence the healthy aging. So that's why it is not a single factor. It is influenced by multifactorial issues. When we talk about aging, we always talk about falls, because aging always increase the risk of falls. So there are various changes in the body at the cellular level and systemic level happens with the aging. So that increase the risk of falls due to age-related declines in physical function and medical conditions and the medications that we use for the medical conditions, side effects of those medications, and also, as I said, due to various extra extrinsic factors as well. So with the aging, it increases the risk of falls, and that leads to very serious health issues. So that's why falls and the fall prevention strategies are always important when we talk about aging and healthy aging. So when we look at the literature or the statistics about falls in older adults or the age population, and falls are the second leading cause of unintentional injury deaths globally. And especially adults older than 60 years of age suffer the greatest number of fatal falls. And 1 in 3 adults more than 65 years of age fall each year. That's a very high prevalence fall rate. So 1 in 3 adults more than 65 years of age fall each year. So that's why it's important to take consideration about falls and fall prevention. So again, falls a multifactorial issue. So there are various risk factors can cause falls, and by addressing these, we can effectively prevent falls, especially in older adults. So there are physical related risk factors, behavioral factors, environmental factors, medications and medical conditions, and habitual factors and other external factors. All these things can influence the falls and the incidence of falls. So without understanding these multifactorial aspect of falls and healthy aging, we may not be able to implement an effective fall prevention strategies. So as I said, as it is influenced by various factors, the biomechanical factors are one aspect which most of the time we don't or we are not much talking about it when we consider all the other aspects, but we don't consider much about this biomechanical aspect of aging and falls. So that's the purpose of today's topic. So we are going to see the biomechanical aspect of healthy aging and falls, and by identifying those biomechanical related factors, we will be able to implement effective fall prevention strategies by incorporating the biomechanical factors. So to identify to understand the biomechanical factors related to fall prevention, first we need to understand the general biomechanical changes which are happening with the aging. So the major biomechanical changes happening with age are musculoskeletal biomechanical changes. So there are various age-related biomechanical changes are happening with the aging. So key changes are reduced muscle function, and the bone density, bone function is reducing, and our joint function, joint mobility are reducing. So these are the key musculoskeletal related biomechanical changes happening with the aging. So when we talk about muscle function and the effect of aging on the muscle function, as we all know, when we talk about, we say about aging effects on muscle function, we get remember sarcopenia. So I hope some of you are aware about sarcopenia. So it is not a disease, it's a condition where our muscle mass is lost due to aging process. So one of the key issue in musculoskeletal biomechanics, our muscle mass is reducing with the aging. So we lose our muscle mass, and the lean mass contribute up to about 50% of our total body weight in our young adult time. But this will be decreased to about 25%. That means almost about 50% muscle mass will be lost by the year of about 75 years of age. So we usually start losing the muscle mass after 45 years, and this muscle mass loss is getting accelerated after 50 years of age. So that's why it is important to start progressive resistance training after 40 years of age to reduce the muscle mass loss. Otherwise it will get accelerated, will rapidly lose our muscle mass. And then muscle fiber changes happens. So the total number of muscle fibers will be significantly reduced with aging, and also more importantly, our fast twitch fibers, the number of fast twitch fibers will get reduced. So that means that will affect the generation of force. So the force generation by the muscle will be reduced because of the changes happening in the muscle fibers, the fiber arrangements. And also with the aging, the number of motor units and the size of the motor units will get decreased, and eventually it will lead to reduced muscle strength and reduced muscle power. So that is happening due to the aging. And then effects of aging on bone. So again, the bone density and bone mass will be reduced with the aging. So as you can see in this picture, in both male and female, the bone mass reducing, starting usually about 40, and you can see that after 40 years of age, our peak bone mass is decreasing with the age, and especially in the females, after menopause, it's further decreasing. So that's why the osteoporosis risk is more in females than males because of the menopause, the hormonal changes. It further bone loss is happening. So, and it is mainly because of the shift or changes in the bone remodeling. The formation of the bone will be less compared to the destruction of the bone. So because of the osteoplastic activity changes, so that will affect the bone remodeling. So bone destruction will be more than the formation. And also there will be weaken in the collagen structure. So that will mainly affect the strength of the bone. especially in the weight bearing. So that will ultimately affect the impaired function, as I said, especially in the weight bearing mechanisms. So the bone also will lose the mass and the function with the aging as muscles. And then if we talk about joints, the joints with the aging will lose the mobility, or the mobility will be reduced, the range of motion will be reduced, and increased stiffness will be there. There will be reduction in the synovial fluid and the water content in the joint, and that will lead to increased stiffness. And the cartilage and ligaments will get weakened and thinner, and ultimately it will lead to decreased stability of the joints with the aging. So if you talk about range of motion, actually it varies different region to region. So comparatively, upper limb joints are having good range of motion even with the aging. Within the upper limb, shoulder joints range of motions are getting more reduced or getting more affected with that aging. Elbow and wrist comparatively not much affected, it still has a great range of motion with the aging. But in lower limb and spine, there are serious restrictions and limitations will happen with the aging, especially if we don't engage in physical exercises regularly. So in cervical spine, we take cervical spine, cervical extension and side flexions shows a greater reduction with the aging. And thoracic and lumbar spine, extension movements are very much limited with the aging and also the rotation. And if you look at the lower limb, hip joint, is very much limited with the aging. Say range of motion is percentage when we reach 68 moment, getting reduced with the aging. So we need to understand this because all these range of motions, muscle power, muscle strength are important for our gait, walking. So when we don't have this enough strength and enough range of motion, that will affect our walking and easily that will increase the risk of fall. And so those are the things about the musculoskeletal biomechanics. So muscle function is getting affected, bone and joints. And then the neuromuscular biomechanics. So neuromuscular functions are also getting affected with the aging. So the key changes with the aging are slower reaction time. So older adults will have a slower reaction time, and the proprioception sensation will be affected. I hope you're familiar with these terms and all, the students. So the proprioception sensation or the joint sensation, the movement, which is essential to our movement and especially the multi-joint, multi-plane, coordinated movement. So the proprioception will get affected and it will eventually affect our balance as well. And the postural stability and postural control will get affected, and it will affect the balance also. So these are the neuromuscular postural related changes happening with aging, and these changes further getting worsened because of the other changes happening with the aging. Like for example, the proprioception or the balance, all these sensations will get affected because of the decline in our other systems like visual, vestibular, somatosensory systems. So with the aging, those functions are also getting declined, sensory systems, visual, vestibular and somatosensory systems, and that will also further affect the balance and proprioception and postural control functions. So these are the neuromuscular issues which happening with aging. And then the factor about gait biomechanics. So how the aging changes our gait. I'm sure most of you are aware about this gait cycle. So we have different phases in our gait cycle, starting from initial contact, and we have two main phases, stance phase and swing phase. And throughout the stance phase, our particular limb is having the contact with the ground, and then it deals with the ground reaction forces and muscle forces. And then the swing phase is mainly the limb is not having the contact with the ground. So the range of motion and the muscle function, everything is getting affected with the aging, will influence our gait pattern as well. And the neuromuscular changes, balance issues, all the things will affect our gait as well, and that will eventually increase the risk of fall. So this picture shows the range of motion needed at each joint, especially in the lower limb joints, and muscle work, how our muscle work during the gait, and how the forces produced by the muscles to counteract the ground reaction force. And this arrows shows the ground reaction force, the direction of ground reaction force. Sure, you'll be able to see this. And the range of motion of each joint required at each phase of the gait cycle. And this shows the muscle work happening during the gait cycle. So when the ground reaction force is going in the same direction of a joint movement, then the muscle, the antagonist muscle, needs to eccentrically contract to control the movement. If the ground reaction force is going in the opposite direction of the joint movement, then the agonist muscle needs to concentrically contract to overcome the amount of ground reaction force and to produce a particular movement. So, for an example here, the ground reaction force is going anterior to the hip joint, so this will tend to flex the hip joint. So at this point, the movement also, the joint movement is also happening as a hip flexion. So it is same direction the ground reaction force is going. So the extensor moments need to be created by the gluteus maximus muscle to control this movement. So if the ground reaction force is going the same direction of the joint movement, then the antagonist muscle should contract eccentrically to control the movement. So if the ground reaction force is going opposite, then the agonist muscle need to concentrically contract, and it should produce more force than the ground reaction force to produce the movement. So that's why having both eccentric and concentric muscle strength is important, especially in gluteus maximus, hamstring, quadriceps, and plantar flexors and dorsiflexor muscles to have the proper gait pattern. And also we should be able to achieve this needed amount of range of motion. So at least about 20 degree of flexion in hip joint, 20 degree of extension in hip joint and the knee, 15 to 20 degree of flexion, and in the ankle, plantar flexion and dorsiflexion. The dorsiflexion we need a bit more, especially towards end of the stance phase. So because of the aging, all these things will get affected. So the range of motion of each joint and muscle strength, muscle power, all these things will get affected. So that will influence our gait, and that will lead to, that will increase the risk of fall. So these are the key changes happens in the gait biomechanics with the aging. So our gait speed will get slower, and our step length or the stride length will become shorter, and increase double stance time. So we tend to spend more time to have our legs on the floor, both legs on the floor, so that will increase resistance time. And as we lose our balance, reduce balance, we tend to have the wider various of support instability. And in addition to that, the individual will have abnormal postures as well. So because of this abnormal posture, that will further affect the gait pattern. So due to all these changes, the biomechanical, musculoskeletal changes, neuromuscular and gait changes, so it will increase the risk of falls. So these are the key risk factors which are increasing the risk of falls. So one is displacement of the center of mass. This happens because of the changes in our posture. Most of the time, with the aging, people tend to have kyphotic posture, stooping posture. So that will shift the center of mass towards anteriorly, and that will increase the risk of fall. And also with the aging, our disc thickness will get reduced, joint spaces will get reduced. So that will lead to lower the center of mass in height. So when the center of mass is lower, of course it will increase the stability, but with the other issues, it can lead to increase the risk of fall. And also the medial lateral shifting of the center of mass also will be there, but with the weakness of, especially in the core muscles and weakness of the muscle, when we get older, we will not be able to control this medial lateral shift in the center of mass. So the displacement in this center of mass, and we are unable to control this center of mass displacement with the aging, will lead to increased risk of fall. And also with the aging, the base of support will get reduced and narrower, and muscle weakness, especially in the lower limb muscles, hip and ankle, and also the core muscles. These muscle groups specifically will lead to increased risk of falls. And of course, poor postural stability and balance control, and then as we did, all these things, biomechanical risk factors will income in the population. So these are the aspects we need to assess to identify this for the joint, especially and muscle mechanics, strength and flexibility of the muscles, and of course neurodynamics. So all these biomechanical factors we need to assess to identify the changes in the biomechanical factors with the aging, and then we can address those changes, and that will reduce the risk of fall. So related to ankle and foot, so the key biomechanical factors that we should measure are excessive eversion and pronation. So this is one common biomechanical abnormality we can see with the aging. The people may have excessive pronation or eversion, so that we need to check. And tibial rotation, sometimes it is internally rotated all the time, the tibia with the aging. So the common thing is excessive pronation and excessive internal rotation of the tibia. So this happens usually with the aging, and so that we have to assess. And we can assess the anatomical alignment, rear foot eversion, standing rear foot eversion, forefoot orientation, and the arch height index to see the biomechanical variations and to see the reason for the biomechanical variation. And then muscle strength of ankle foot regions, especially both plantar plexus and dorsiflexus are important, because these two muscles are very much important for the gait. The gait pattern, as you all aware, started with the heel strike pattern, where we need a lot of muscle work of plantar flexor muscles, and ends with the toe off. So both the tying need very much support from the plantar flexors and dorsiflexor muscles. So the strength and flexibility both are important to achieve the better ankle foot mechanism during gait. Otherwise, it will lead to loss of balance, stability during the gait pattern, and can increase the risk of fall. So these are the things we need to assess in terms of ankle foot biomechanics. And in terms of hip and knee, again, the common biomechanical changes we can see in the hip and knee during gait. There is the reduced flexion in the knee joint, and there is reduced hip extension, increased hip adduction, and there might be pelvic drop issues. So these are the key biomechanical changes we can see in the gait pattern with the aging. So those things we need to assess, and if there is anything, then we have to address those things. And the alignment, Q angle, leg length discrepancy, pelvic alignment, so these also we have to assess and see, because sometimes the biomechanical changes can happen because of these anatomical issues as well. So we have to rule out that. So if the biomechanical changes are happening because of the muscle weakness and the other issues like functional issues, of course we can address it, but it is important to measure these anatomical alignments to rule out if there is any anatomical issues. And then the strength, especially gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, because with the aging the patient will have reduced hip extension, but hip extensors are very much important for our gait, and also hamstring and quadriceps. And then the flexibility of hip and knee region, all these muscles we need to assess. So related to hip and knee joint, we have to assess all these things to identify the biomechanical issues. And of course, we should not miss to assess the functional spine, especially thoracic and lumbar spine. So these movements, especially extension movements, are limited with the aging, and that can affect the gait pattern and the range of motion or the flexibility of the spine. And another very important factor is core muscle strength. So these also we need to assess. Okay, so we have to assess all these things to identify any biomechanical issues. So anatomical alignments, biomechanical gait patterns, range of motion, especially the lower limb joints, and muscle mechanics, muscle work, the lower limb joint to assess the biomechanical issues, and also the neural dynamics. So once we identify if there are any issues in these biomechanical factors, especially the functional biomechanics, the not anatomical malalignments, so then we can plan our intervention accordingly to address these biomechanical issues. So to assess the biomechanical factors, can do various type of assessments. So physical or clinical examination we can do joint by joint. We can assess all the joint biomechanics by doing clinical and physical examination. Or we can use specific tests like tug test to assess the balance and the risk of fall. And nowadays we can use advanced technologies also to do the biomechanical assessment and to identify the biomechanical variations in terms of movements, range of motion, and muscle power. We can use motion capture system. There are various types of motion capture systems available, very advanced ones also available. Or there are simple free softwares are also available to assess motion capture. Like one is called Kinovia. It's a free software, so you can use even on your phone cameras. You can take the video of a walking pattern, you can easily assess the range of motion. And if it have EMG, we can assess the muscle work, also the muscle power, by incorporating with this motion capture system. So this is one way to assess the movements. And there are some other advanced softwares are available, the devices are available. One is called Pablo Gait and Low Extremity Analysis System. So this use cameras and IMU sensors. So by placing those sensors and fixing the cameras, we can assess the lower extremity movements and the gait by using this system. And the another one is Thymo balance and posturography assessment system. So there's a postural assessment plate is there. So the individual should stand on that, and we can assess the weight distribution, postural sway, postural control by using this system. So this type of advanced technological systems with softwares we can use to assess these biomechanical functions. If not, of course, we can always use physical and clinical examinations to identify the biomechanical issues. So if we have this type of technologically advanced biomechanical assessment systems, of course, we can get more accurate data. So once we identify all these biomechanical issues, then we can plan our physiotherapy intervention to address these biomechanical issues. So I'm not going to talk about in detail about these physiotherapy interventions. So the key physiotherapy intervention we should incorporate to address the aging issues and to reduce the fall incidence in aged people. Strength training. So the progressive resistance strength trainings need to be considered. And as I said, the key areas to consider: the lower limb gluteus muscles, the hip extensors are getting weakened very quickly, and calf muscles, both ankle plantar flexors and dorsiflexors need to be strengthened properly, and core muscle groups. And balance retraining program need to be considered. So we can use various balance retraining protocols, gait rehabilitation, and functional mobility exercises, and if needed, we can prescribe assistive devices. So this, when we plan this physiotherapy intervention, the important thing to remember is, if we identify the biomechanical issues behind these problems, then we can address it when we plan the intervention. Otherwise, if without addressing those biomechanical issues, if we plan the general strength training, general balance rehab programs, so the effectiveness will be less. And also I want to talk a little bit about the role of technology nowadays used in, especially in fall prevention strategies. There are various advanced technological devices are nowadays being used in the fall prevention field, like wearable sensors, virtual reality platforms, and telerehabilitation. So there are advanced wearable devices are there where we can wear it, and with the already given data and measurement, it will detect the fall. So beforehand, so it will detect the incident of fall before the fall happens, and there are various systems available. It will give you sound alert as a feedback, and it will send messages to the family members or caregivers. Okay. So like that, wearable sensor systems are available, the fall detection systems are available, and also virtual reality platforms are there to train the elder people in different balance strategies. So they will give the different virtual platforms so that they can do the exercises in that platform, and that will improve their balance. And also there are various other techniques also used, like functional electrical stimulations while walking or while doing the movements. They are doing these functional electrical stimulations. And the mobile-based applications are there where the older people can do their strength training, balance training using mobile-based gaming kind of applications. So it will increase the participation of the people to engage in those exercises, like mobile-based applications, and also the telerehabilitation. So the one of the key issues in doing rehabilitation for older people is they will not attend the clinic all the time. They may miss the sessions, and we have issues in monitoring continuously. So tele-rehabilitation is one of the key strategy to address those issues. So we can do the remote monitoring, tele-assessment, and we can modify the treatment. We can get, by using some wearable sensors, we can get the measurements while they do the exercise at or the rehab program at home, and then through the tele-rehab program we can modify, we can monitor. So all these things can be done by incorporating the technology. So there are various technology-based devices, AI-based devices are nowadays available for fall prevention programs. So we can use those things as well as an intervention plan. So all these intervention plans will be effective if we identify the root cause for the fall risk. Because it's, as I said, it's a multifactorial issue. So if you don't identify the causes, the real causes or the root causes for the risk of fall, we will not be able to identify the effective intervention program. So that's why the biomechanical factors play a key role. So we need to assess these biomechanical factors, and we need to identify the biomechanical issues, and then only we can address or incorporate those issues into our intervention plan. So again, I just wanted to say that healthy aging and fall prevention are multifactorial. So it is not only about biomechanical, but biomechanical factors play a key role there. So we have to consider all these factors as a holistic approach. So identifying the risk factors and designing multifactorial interventions are the key for the healthy aging and prevention of falls. So if we miss anything, if we identify only one aspect of this, and our intervention program will not be effective enough. So we need to understand clearly that fall prevention and healthy aging is a multifactorial one. It includes physical, mental, social, and cognitive factors. So we have to address all these things. So identifying all these risk factors and designing the multifactorial, multidisciplinary intervention plan is the key for healthy aging and prevention of falls. So that's why we need to consider these biomechanical factors as well without missing it, because otherwise our intervention program will not that be effective. And there are some key issues in the biomechanical factors can increase the risk of falls. So in addition to that, generally we need to consider the other things as well for the healthy aging, as it is a multifactorial one. So exercise and physical activity regularly need to be done to achieve the healthy aging, especially the resistance exercises, because the muscle mass and bone mass loss, all these things will start happening after 40 to 50 years. So the regular physical activity, especially strength training, is important to prevent that. And the healthy eating patterns need to be considered. Older people should focus on having balanced diet, specific focus on protein, calcium, and vitamin D to have the proper diet. And getting enough sleep is important, especially for recovery of our cellular level damages and injuries. So especially older people need to have proper rest and sleeping time for their recovery. And smoking and alcohol again will adversely affect the aging process, so it needs to be avoided. So by addressing all these things as a holistic approach, we will be able to achieve the healthy aging, and by that we can reduce the risk of fall. So that's the key idea of today's talk. So yeah, and of course, taking care of mental and cognitive health is also important for this holistic approach. Most of the time, the elder people having mental and cognitive or psychological issues because of they are isolated in the community, in the society. So that will increase their stress level. So that need to be considered as well. So they should engage in leisure activities, or they should engage with other people so that it will improve their mental health as well. By addressing all these things, actually, that will help to achieve healthy aging and fall prevention. So the biomechanical factors is one aspect today I talked that should not be missed to address when we talk about this healthy aging and fall prevention. So it is not the only thing. So we need to address this as a multifactorial and multidisciplinary issue, and we should plan our intervention accordingly. So that will be the effective way of achieving healthy aging and fall prevention. So as a summary and key takeaways today's topic. So healthy aging and fall prevention are multifactorial. Aging will alter the biomechanics. So those biomechanical changes can lead to risk of falls. And falls are preventable through addressing these biomechanical factors. So we have to assess these biomechanical factors and we have to identify, and we can prevent falls by addressing those issues. And we need to plan physiotherapy interventions effectively for fall prevention. And of course, there are various advanced technologies available now, so that also we can incorporate into the fall prevention strategies. So those are the key things to be remembered. And thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can have. And before going for the question, I would like to show a little bit about our university. And this is our university called University of Peradeniya, one of the most beautiful university in our country. So, called University of Peradeniya is situated in the central part of our country, and we are the largest university in the country, and we have 9 faculties currently, and Faculty of Allied Health Sciences where we are mainly located, and we offer bachelor's and master's program in physiotherapy, and also we do annual workshops and conferences in our university related to physiotherapy, and this year conference also we are having it in November. So I'm happy to invite you all for the conference if anyone is interested, and I hope I can share the details to invite you all to our university as well. So thank you very much, and if you have any questions, you can discuss. I'm happy to discuss.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you very much for your invitation.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Mayooran. It was a very lucid and a straightforward presentation. I'm sure all our students would have really got it. If not, for the daily practice, at least for writing up in the theory paper, that you have given exclusively the biomechanical concepts very clearly talked about, right from the muscle function to gait. Isn't it? Yes. So how much knowledge you will be able to get? 100%? Yes or no? Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Mayooran. If anybody has any questions, feel free to come over here because the camera is here. We need to be audible. Any questions? Feel free to talk to him. We'll spend some couple of minutes. It's 3:30. Any questions? Anything? It can be from first year to final year to PGs. Anybody? No? So I think they are very clear with whatever the discussion that you have given. But I have only one question for myself. Can I, Mayooran, if I can ask you?
Yes, sure. Yes.
Yeah. Just only one question related, because you talked about the role of assistive devices. I just wanted to know your perspective. Fall prevention can be done through giving some support in the form of cane or walker or some of other devices. So, considering the biomechanics part, what is the key takeaway or the key point that one should consider before prescribing any assistive devices as a solution for preventing falls?
Yeah. So the assistive devices actually, it depends on the purpose why we are prescribing.
Right.
So if we are prescribing cane or a walker or whatever, first that's the key area where the biomechanics play a key role.
Right.
So initially we have to assess that. So what is the issue with the person is having, whether it is because of the muscle weakness the person is having the issue, or because of the postural stability, or what is the issue that needs to be assessed clearly. And based on that, we need to prescribe the correct assistive device. And usually what we do is even after, like for example, if we are prescribing a cane, what we do is before and after we do all the assessment, especially the movement assessment, the motion assessment we do, and then we make sure whether whatever the prescribed device we have prescribed will serve the purpose.
Right. Yeah, because I think.
And the more important thing is not only the prescribing the device, we have to train the that as well. Because most of the time we prescribe that they don't know how to use it effectively.
Correct.
So which side they should use, how to use it, and the working pattern, that is another important thing need to be considered as well.
Yeah, that is right, because many of the time we as physios give some other such supportive devices. I have seen people carrying the cane as a handbag in their hand, hanging it on the side. They don't use it to take a support, So hence why I was just wondering, because biomechanics play a major role, what type of device, when to, how to give, it makes real sense. So I think the time is up, and you have given a very elaborate presentation. I'm sure that all our students, right from first year to the postgraduates, even the faculty, would have definitely got some insights. And thanks for showing your campus too. It is really lush green, and many of the people were brightened when you showed your conference, and on top of it you said November is a conference. I think few have already thinking which flight to book. So you can share the brochure flyer of the conferences. Let's see how before inviting you, if any of our people wanted to go, come over there, we will see. And thank you once again on behalf of our university and our institution for accepting our invitation and giving a very clear discussion on healthy aging and falls prevention on the area of your interest, that is biomechanical perspective. And over to our MC, Disha Motwani, to close the ceremony. And I'll be sharing the certificate of appreciation through email to you, and I'll be giving the feedback also once when the session is over. We look forward to have you here in many more sessions online, and of course offline too. We will suitably invite you closer to some of the other occasions in the future. Thank you so much, Dr. Mayooran. Please stay with us as we conclude the ceremony. Dr.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Disha, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for your kind words, and I hope I have served the purpose you invited me. I hope students might have learned at least something and about the biomechanical aspect. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Over to Disha.
We have now reached the end of this insightful session. I sincerely thank our speaker, Dr. S. Mayooran, for the valuable guidance, our principal for the support, and all of you for your active participation. Wishing you all a health and well-being. Thank you so much.
None of you had any question? Because this is organized especially for you all. I don't know how much knowledge you gather, because it is not an easy to go into some international package. Go to the webinar. It needs a lot of formalities, connections, meeting each other, and content has to be discussed before. So maybe tomorrow also we are having 2 important sessions. This we are not just doing it for our sake. Of course, as an institution we need to do beyond the classroom some other activity, but it is exclusively for other people. So take the maximum benefit out of it. You never know from where you get what information. I want you to be alert. You should have taken notes also. What are the key points? Because that's how learning happens. Okay, tomorrow those 2 prominent alumni, they are very bright students of our institution. One has already completed a PhD, other one is working in one of the prestigious universities in Maharashtra. So we need to really make them feel that KMPAP is the same as it started. They should not feel that it is deteriorated. They should feel that it is much more vibrant and students are more thoughtful now. They are very, very active. They are having prior knowledge. Topic of लोगों को पता है? Can anybody say who is the speaker for tomorrow and what is the topic? Yes. बोलो. Who is that? Yes. And you are an anchor. इसलिए आपको पता है ना. Aging भी इसने जवाब दिया कि prepared for that. Who is the speaker and what is the talk?
Dr.
R.C. Shah.
And Dr. Shraddha.
And Dr. Shraddha. What is the topic? ये recording ही हो रहा है क्या? जरूरत नहीं है. This is out of the topic. You should know why.